Welcome to the Chronic Combat Awards 2023 with your hosts, TB Scouting MMA and
The Guru back again to cap off and recap a final look at 2023 to move on to 2024. Got some unbelievable cards to come up. But before we get into that, we've got the award show. If you tuned in with us on Friday, we had an amazing nomination show where we looked at the entire year in review. We went through our betting and we nominated multiple people, fighters, events for submissions, knockouts, right? Different moments for awards, everything. We've got how many awards? We got 15 awards to give out tonight, TB?
Guru. We've got more than you can imagine. It might be more than 15. This is going to be an elite show. And what I could promise you people is if you came here to see TB and the Guru arguing, you came to the right place because we don't agree on everything. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to need you, the fans, to help us out and decide who wins all the Chronic Combat Awards if we don't agree. So,
I mean, we can't give them away without the help of everybody else in the chat. I mean, this is what makes MMA Twitter feel. That's one thing at least we can agree on.
That's right. At least one thing. But the other thing we could agree on is before we get there, you got to throw a like on the video. People, do what you came here to do. Give us a like. Costs you nothing. It's going to help us out so much in spreading amazing content and a good time going into 2024. So once you've liked, make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well, helping us out so much. Past 500 subscribers. You guys are the best. And yeah, so we're moving on. It's the Chronic Combat Awards, and the winner is, well, let's get to our first nomination. So first, our most improved fighter for 2023, the nominees. First, in the blue corner, now we have Ariane Lipski, Brian Battle, Roman Kopylov, Edson Barboza, and Kyle Nelson. Guru, who was your winner for the most improved fighter in 2023?
Just trying to get over your like weird announcer act like voice. That was fucking crazy. So most improved fighter. I mean, this to me was, I mean, all these awards were really, really tough tonight. I'm going to be honest. It's taken a lot of deliberation and research to come down to my selection here. At the end of the day, I ended up going with Brian Battle, somebody I was really, really impressed with. Do we think that he's bound for becoming a champion? No, I wouldn't necessarily say so. But what I would say is that he showed to himself to be overperforming in certain spots, coming off a complete washing by Renat Fakhretdinov last year. This year, he puts together 2 wins, and one of which is a 14, I believe 2 finishes, and one of them was a 14-second knockout, first round. So just incredible stuff. But honestly, my other choice was going to be Ariane Lipski as well, but I felt like I couldn't give it to her because I don't feel like she actually beat Melissa Gatto. So 3-0 looks a little fraudulent.
All right. Well, Guru, before I slander you and your pick, let's give the people my pick. So I got Roman Kopylov as my most improved fighter in 2023. My argument here being that I actually saw Roman Kopylov improve his game in the department that needed to be improved to really take him to the next level. He started training in Dagestan. He improved his wrestling, even turning the table on some of his opponents and showing his own wrestling. I mean, 3 knockout finishes in all different varieties, body shot, head kick. I mean, the dude is doing it all. So for me, the most improved for a guy that really struggled with the takedown defense, everything like that, I really think I saw the most improvements in Roman Kopylov's game. But one thing we did agree on, Guru, was number 2, Ariane Lipski. That was my runner-up. Same thing. I really saw her fill the holes in her takedown defense and actually turning the tables on her opponents. Her grappling just taking leaps and bounds and steps since moving to ATT. But my winner was Roman. Now I slander the Guru. Brian Battle is a terrible pick. The dude, he gets a knockout finish in 12 seconds. What did we learn that he actually improved in? The next wrestler he faces takes this motherfucker down the whole time. He's a terrible winner. You're terrible, Guru. I'm done slandering you. You go ahead. That's my turn.
Yeah, you're not really going to get too much resistance from me. Yeah, Roman Kopylov is a fantastic pick. He is somebody that is truly on the rise, and I mean, I always thought the Sean Strickland fight would be interesting when he was calling him out. But I mean, let's be honest. If he does face a really good grappler, I think he's still in trouble. So
Yes, yeah. So
was,
I don't know,
was he
man.
supposed to?
Listen,
You go.
we need some more help in the chat. If you guys can help us
Definitely
distinguish
out.
between Roman, between Brian Battle, because that's where we're in a battle right now. But right now, Anthony, bringing it up for the rest of the people. I mean, it's looking like Roman Kopylov might be winning the 2023 Most Improved Fighter. Guru, I mean, you got any last arguments on the battle side?
I'm just, listen, the battle, that's a tough place to be. The arguments I would try to make would be exactly what I was gonna say. It's like, who did our boy Kopylov beat? Josh Frem with a liver punch, you know what I'm saying? Claudio Ribeiro. We know these guys are not Puna Soriano. Like, we know that these guys are all honestly basement dwellers of the middleweight division. So that would be my point. He had a fight booked against Anthony Hernandez. Now that is the fight that I want to see, right? Like, can
That's
he
fair.
handle Fluffy's grappling? If you want to talk shit about somebody's grappling, like, oh yeah, all of a sudden he looks great. Yeah, stuffing takedowns from Josh Frem. Let's see if Anthony Hernandez gets his back, what happens to him. But yeah, Brian Battle, I felt like it was maybe a more outside of the box pick. Again, somebody that I felt like was looking a little forgettable after the Renat loss. And I just felt like he had bounced back well. 2 finishes, finishing AJ Fletcher, finishing Gabe Green. But no, you're probably right. I'm not gonna stick my foot firmly in the ground here because
Oh no.
I was all over this
Yeah, no,
these nominees.
I'll take that one. I got Roman Kopylov. For the winner is Mr. Roman for the most
Are you
improved
giving him a
fighter.
TB? Are you giving him a TB nickname or what?
Roman Napoleon Dynamite Kopylov.
Unbelievable.
All right, unbelievable. We're moving on. We've got our next award, the newcomer of the year. First up, we have Bo Nickel. Then we've got Diego Lopez, Mateusz Rambecki, Ikram Alaskarov, and Vitor Bobby Petrino. So, I mean, this one's easy for me. I'll take the lead on this one. Breakout, newcomer of the year. It's got to be Vitor Bobby Petrino, baby. We saw this guy come out, fight an absolute rubber chin in his first matchup, would have knocked out any other person he fought than Anton Turkali that night. Then his next 2 fights comes out and shows he's got a submission game. He's got a one-punch knockout game. This guy could do it all. He won each type of method you could possibly win in his first year in the UFC. And I mean, this dude is Adonis. He's a Greek god. I mean, I don't know what other guy has the physicality, the chin, and the cardio and the all-around game. Vitor Bobby Petrino, that is my newcomer of the year for 2023.
Yeah, again, I'm on Vitor Petrino as well. Was another award where I vacillated greatly. I think all these nominees truly deserve it. I think somebody like Mateusz Rambecki is certainly forgotten about. 3 wins, 2 finishes this year. Fantastic debut. Just getting that work done. You look at somebody like who was really going to be my pick until I changed to Bobby Petrino. I was really thinking Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel, 2 first-round finishes, 2-0, making it on the pay-per-view. Somebody who you actually think really does have some title aspirations. I mean, we'll see what he's got, right? Does he have any cardio? Does he have any chin? Can he really strike? We're going to see eventually. But, I ended up going with Bobby over Vitor. I ended up going with Vitor over Bo and the others because, listen, level of competition basically being the same. 3 wins is better than 2. I love Diego Lopez, but couldn't give it to him because he didn't beat the unbelievable, crazy fight. Movsar Evlev taking that on short notice. Fantastic.
You make
and
a great point.
Yeah. I mean, and Ikram Aleskarev, just unbelievable. 2 first-round finishes as well. Incredible shit from him. Just explosive. We'll talk about his fights later. Bo Nickel beating guys. Well, yeah, but let's be real. Like, I mean, who did Vitor Petrino beat? You want to go through him again?
Well,
It's like it's
all right.
not...
Well, Marcin Parchinio has multiple UFC wins.
All right.
And then Modestas Bukauskas has multiple UFC wins.
It's better.
And Anton Turkalj was a Dana White Contender Series winner.
That was
So
the
it's
worst
not
one, but yeah.
that was the worst one, but at the same time, he had the best chin and cardio and durability, and that's the only guy he couldn't
I
put
don't know
out.
about that. I don't know about that, but it's
All right,
fine.
well, anyway.
I'm very well impressed with Vitor Petrino, and he absolutely deserves to be the newcomer rookie of the year. Congratulations.
So after heavy slander in the Guru direction, the first one we got to agree on here. And I also like this Diego Lopez points. Now, for our breakout fighter of the year nominees, we've got Brendan Allen, multiple headliners making waves. Song Yadong, you could say a similar story about him. Ilia Topuria, does he not fit those categories as well? Steve Erceg snuck in there. Nice little debut year. And then Benoit Saint Denis after that debut against Eliseu Zaleski dos Santos. So here's my thing, Anthony. I understand where you're coming from. I do. But Guru, who did you go for the breakout of the year?
Breakout of the year. Now, this was, I'm going to probably just say this. The incredible nominees. Everybody absolutely deserved it. You look at somebody like Brendan Allen, who went 3-0 with 3 finishes, gets his first main event spot. Song Yadong coming in with 2 main event spots. Ilia Topuria, a main event spot, and a preceding title shot to come into the next year. Steve Erceg going 2-0, right? Unbelievable. Top 15 right on his debut. Incredible. And then Benoit Saint Denis, somebody who, I think could be up for a multitude of awards tonight. Honorable. just unbelievable stuff. 3 fights, 3 finishes, top 15, top 10 bound. Who wants to fight that guy? Who's actually going to take that fight? Because I think he's might be top 5, top 3 right now. Like, he is so dangerous if you can't put him out. It's so scary. But I didn't answer your question. For breakout fighter of the year, I have to go with Ilia Topuria. He absolutely dismantled Josh Emmett, who clearly still has something to give, and he's going to fight the champ. What's more of a breakout than that, earning your title shot? So I'm giving it to Ilia.
Yeah. So here's my thing from the breakout fighter perspective. I think there was one thing that really stood out in the selection of Ilia Topuria for me was his potential for a significant following in his home country and his already kind of growing star. I mean, this guy has some of the most famous footballers from Spain, right there for his main events. He's getting the title shot. This guy is on the precipice from being one of the biggest stars in the UFC. Given what happens in that title shot coming up against Alexander Volkanovski. So Ilia Topuria, I really think that his most recent of wins, where he's navigating it in main event against Josh Emmett, just absolutely putting it on him. And then the Bryce Mitchell matchup, the year before, it had some sloppy moments, but I think we've really seen, just from where people thought that there might actually be a competitive fight between him and Paddy Pimblett, to now saying that Topuria is going to dethrone Volkanovski. That's where I think that the hype behind Topuria and the ability for him to become a household name, I think Benoit Saint Denis is going to be a potential winner of a different award next year. But he was so close to taking the cake. But hey, once again, we came to a consensus here. The winner is Ilia Topuria for Breakout Fighter of the Year. Now, Guru, are you ready? Because we've got the Comeback Fighter of the Year.
This is a tough one. This is so tough because you just get into the nitty gritty of trying to define what it truly means to you to be a comeback fighter, and that's just incredible stuff. I can't wait to get into this. You want me to go over these award nominees? I'll do it.
You beg for it. Go ahead, do it.
Unbelievable. Look at these nominees. You've got the GOAT, John Bones Jones, coming back off of a major layoff, 3 years to bulk up to heavyweight, takes on Cyril Gane, submits him in 3 minutes. You've got Veronica Hardy coming off over 3-year layoff, dealing with concussion symptoms, changing coaches, changing lifestyles, a bunch of other, I believe, knee surgeries and other medical issues. You got Tommy Aspinall coming off that brutal knee injury, a crazy freak injury to Curtis Blades 10 seconds into that fight, 15 seconds into that fight, and has to come back and wins a title. Unbelievable. Then you've got Sean Brady, 2 separate injuries, ton of time off after the Bilal injury fight, comes back, wins, unbelievable decision versus, I know he submits Kelvin Gastelum in the 3rd round, incredible. And then Giga Chikadze, I believe a near 2-year layoff and knee surgery, right? Was it knee surgery for Giga?
Yeah, it comes back. Yep.
And comes back and wins a decision in his debut in return. Nominees, really, really incredible. I went with Veronica Hardy. I was really, really impressed at the end of the day with concussion-like symptoms and all the injuries. I mean, that kind of stuff really you'll never come back from it. So for her to make those types of improvements in her game, I mean, I honestly, when you saw the tape, you didn't even think that she was going to beat Juju Miller. She really did show major improvements. I know she's beating basement dwellers, but I was so impressed with her improvements. So I'm giving it to Veronica Hardy.
Yeah, she doesn't do it for me. But my comeback fighter of the year, Tom Aspinall. It was a simple choice. He's coming back from something he couldn't control. John Jones chose to sit out for an extended period of time and bulk up to heavyweight to avoid Francis. Then Veronica, listen, it was out of her control, but, she's also fighting absolute bums, was a plus 300 favorite in each fight. And just in her second matchup, quite frankly, her opponent fighting a bad game plan is what leads to her getting a split decision victory, no? Or was it unanimous? But it's
Did you say plus 300 favorite in each fight? What the fuck did you even say?
She was a plus 300 in each of her fights.
Okay, so that means the betting market is against her, and they're wrong, and she proved them wrong.
Right, but I think that's more impressive than the fact that
no, I think
she didn't come back and beat Sergey Pavlovich in a title fight, coming off of a major knee surgery. She didn't beat
but he also fought fucking Spivak, so he had gotten the tune-up fight
and Marcin Tybura.
Oh,
is that who you were thinking about? Was he fought Marcin Tybura?
Thank you. I always mix those.
But guess what? The guy comes back from a major knee surgery, still at the top of the division.
It's 1 year. Then to me, honestly, I'd give it to Sean Brady over Aspinall. Then I thought
for beating Kelvin Gastelum.
I thought the performance was so impressive.
Nah, and then Giga he already retore his groin, so fuck that guy.
No, not Giga.
I'm giving it to Tom Aspinall. Guru, you must have a crush. Please stop.
I definitely don't. I mean, she's not bad looking, obviously, but it's not. I'm trying to be like. I just don't think that winning a title just makes you automatically the winner of each award. I just feel like that becomes a little boring. I'm trying to be a little more divergent, but it's hard to argue when he's he's the best in the division.
Yeah, so. I mean. I think
it's just like ACL surgery, bro. It's not. This isn't 93. ACL surgery that is a much less invasive type procedure. Guys come back to the best of their ability now, with minimal to no change in their explosiveness, as you've seen. So,
yeah. What up, James? What's going on? Thanks for joining. Please, we need help. Do you have Tom Aspinall or do you have Veronica Hardy for your comeback fighter of the year? We're stuck. We need everybody's help, please. Anthony, yep, shortest average fight time. I gotcha. Best in the division. Thanks for confirming Tom is better than Jones. Yeah,
I don't know.
I think he beats him at this point. Maybe
he might
maybe
him,
if the moment is too big or if Aspinall gets hurt, I think he could lose. But I think if it's skill for skill.
If you're giving me dog money on John Bones Jones, I'm taking it. I promise.
Thank you. Guru, that's 3-0 now. Tommy Aspinall, comeback fighter of the year. The winner is Tommy Aspinall.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, Guru.
I'm not mad at
going for the deep cuts.
I'm not mad at it. That is exactly what it is. I'm just trying to be a little bit more.
He's trying to be fair. He's trying to extend the conversation. He's trying not to, whatever. Here we go.
Who wants to hear a betting show where everybody picks the favorites? Who wants to hear an award show where the Grammys just give it to all the white people? Let's get some diversity in there. get some real awards back. You know, we're bringing greatness back to MMA awards shows.
Make MMA great again. Um, yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, I'm gonna do a little something over here.
Skeet, skeet. So, all right, I'll take care of this one. We got the comeback performance of the year nominees. First, we got Mike Breeden barking his way back in round 3 versus Actual Jubilee. One of the most electric performances to watch live, having a plus 200 ticket on Mike Breeden. Nicholas Dalby, how about that against the one and only Gabriel Bonfim, the better Bonfim, is what we all said. However, Nicholas Dalby comes out here and just absolutely survives the storm and mutilates the guy in round 2. Edson Barbosa, talk about surviving the storm. That round 1 versus Sadiq Yusuf. And there he is winning rounds 4 through 5. Very impressive. Davy Grant, he's got down 2 rounds to none, 3 rounds to none, quite frankly. Pulls off the impossible reverse triangle to win at the buzzer against a Sun Sao. And then finally, another comeback of the year. We have the Guram Kutateladze versus Elvis Brenner. Not Elvis Presley, people. We had Elvis Brenner in there. He was moving those hips, but no, really surviving the storm, an absolute banger of a back and forth fight. But down 2 rounds to none, landing the clean knockout, absolutely hurting Guram Kutateladze. You know, one of those delayed reaction bad boys. But Guru, I think we agree here. What's your comeback performance of the year winner?
Bro, honestly, like as you even say that, like I almost feel kind of crazy not taking Elvis Brenner. I don't know that I can do it. Yeah, I feel like that is what I wrote. I love Breeden. Fuck. Yeah,
I like Breeden, baby.
Probably gets it.
Listen, you start barking like a dog in international waters and
That
tell
was sick.
people that you had fucking like undetected diseases before the fight. This dude is actively with staph infection and barking in people's faces and down 2 rounds to none and landing the knockout.
It is what I wrote, if anybody cares.
It's Mike Breeden. So I appreciate you too, James Kendrick, for bringing us home. All that barking still couldn't get him re-signed. Yeah, you probably shouldn't admit to having staph infection and still fighting. Yes, the Chronic Combat 23-3 Awards, sponsored by Miranda Mavericks, Big Fat Pickles. PC, appreciate you.
Those pickles. I hope they're good.
Yeah. Also, that's crazy they cut him. I kind of get it. It makes sense. You know what I mean?
I don't know that they cut him. I just don't think they re-signed him.
Yeah, the staph infection thing, exactly. So, and the winner is Mike Breeden, but he doesn't win another UFC contract. Who let the dogs out? So now, we've got our upset of the year nominees. Here we go.
Fantastic category here.
Bobby Green versus Grant Dawson. Who thought Bobby King Green at plus 500, plus 400, plus 500 was going to come out there? Starch Grant Dawson. We just talked about the Elvis Brenner matchup. Not only was it a comeback, but the dude was what? Plus 500, short notice coming into that week? What an absolute upset. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. Need I say any more? I mean, you all saw that first fight. I think Alexa Grasso was one of the biggest underdogs in history if we didn't have Juliana Pena fight. Then Sean Strickland, talk about one of the biggest underdogs in men's MMA history. I mean, this guy's like plus 500, plus 600 going into their fight.
Yeah.
And finally, a little throw in there, Mr. Muhammad Naimov, the Hill man. I mean, this guy was also a gigantic underdog, but he comes in a couple days notice,
and he's losing he's down 2 rounds to nothing.
Yep. So that was a crazy upset. But ultimately, Guru, who do you got here for your upset of the year?
Ultimately, upset of the year, I went with the screaming crazy man, Sean Strickland. I thought from bell to bell, that beatdown was, I just thought the entire time I was in the Twilight Zone. Like it was fucking insane. We're just sitting there watching our bets. Like, are we like, is this really Izzy? Like what's happening? Like, what is this? It was absolutely incredible. It has to be Strickland. I can't wait to shit on your pick, give you a little rub for your money here. But unbelievable. Again, Elvis Brenner deserves everything. I mean, might be my honorable mention later. Like, he's just absolutely incredible. The way he comes back from the brink of death is absolutely insane. If you have a friend that is not interested in fights, show them that fight. Be like, just watch this fucking craziness and tell me that some primal part of you doesn't wake up. Like, that's an unbelievable fight. But I gotta give it to Sean.
Damn it, you made really good points. My official pick was Alexa Grasso. I'm not deviating from what I wrote down. But what I will say is that she was losing until she wasn't. She had a good moment early, won a round, and then was losing until she wasn't. But for me, just the unexpectedness of Bullet Shevchenko going down at that moment. She seemed to be at her peak, absolute best. And but yeah, dude, I mean, go ahead, lambast me because I think you deserve it.
So the lambasting is exactly that. I think the true upset of the nature is how upsetting it was. It wasn't that somebody won. It wasn't somebody that stole a moment. He stole the whole fight. He stole the pay-per-view. He was winning the press conference. He won everything. He's the
crazy.
man, and he's the champ now. Upset of the year, Sean Strickland. Grasso goes out. Yeah, Valentina throws that crazy stupid kick. Then she takes her back and chokes her out, and she's just so not ready for it. But yeah, I just felt that, especially when we had the rematch this year and it was a fucking draw, I'm just not giving her the nod here. It's going to PC Sean Strickland.
Balls. Damn it, Guru was right this time. I gotta concede. It's 2-1 TB, but Guru picks one up here, and the winner is for
don't ruin the. There is no official record for arguing. That's so competitive.
Bro, I won twice and you won once so
far.
You're
literally goobed up.
The chat agreed with you once. The chat agreed with me twice.
And speaking of, you know what? If this is what the line in the sand that you want to draw, then what we need to do at the year in review reward show is look at our picks record for the year. And that's what needs to be talked about because we don't know.
All right.
Well, actually, Brian XBL Twitch probably knows. So, like, you want to make it a pissing contest. Actually start pissing them, pal.
Yes, I'm sorry I let you down, PC. Yeah, and you're right. I am making it a damn competition. All right. Anyways, we're moving on. The Chronic Combat Awards, the robbery of the year nominees. Guru, you gonna stumble over this one, or I got this? What do you want?
You are the dirtiest JD of them all, and you can feel free to handle it. I'm just gonna smoke in my own business.
All right, sounds good. So, robbery of the year. I'm sitting here. We're looking at first off Elvis Brenner against Zubaira Tukhugov. I know the dude had a great debut year, but come on, man. Zubaira Tukhugov should have won that decision. Thought it was clear. Lerone Murphy versus Gabriel Santos. I mean, again, Santos had more output, seemed to do better in the submission attempts, but Murphy in his hometown in London pulls it out. Kind of sketchy. Lucy Pudilova versus our girl Jocelyn Edwards. Now, this was a robbery of the year. I mean, it's 2-1. DC's talking about how the fight's completely over.
More like the slobbery of the year.
Yeah. I mean, come on. And then same thing, Jeon Kim. She gets a point deducted off of some bullshit against Mandy Burm. And then the robbery just of this disgusting decision. Anyways, so yeah, Jeon Kim, poor Kim. And then, oh man, did I fucking put a picture of Jeon Kim and Mandy Burm 2 times because I was so upset about that one? That's actually hilarious because the other one, oh no, that's Kanako Murata and Vanessa Demopoulos. I'm sorry,
you're just being racist.
So, because I thought that was Mandy. No, because look, Mandy Bohm's hair is the same as Demopoulos there, and so is Kim's with like the braids. So I was just like, that's so terrible. But anyways, Murata versus Demopoulos. What the fuck? Also, personally, my robbery of the year here. It's Edwards versus Pudilova. It was such a close pick on the money line. I had a great bet on Pudilova. That thing was a clear decision, 2-1. But Guru, you might actually have a good point. Go ahead. Who do you got?
I know I have a good point, and since we're making it a competition, it's about to be 2-2, motherfucker. So if you feel like Lucy Pudilova won a decision with 8 minutes of control time getting outlanded, then let me sell you Kanako Murata with 11 to 12 minutes of control time and outlanding Demopoulos and losing. So no, the robbery of the year is Vanessa Demopoulos beating Kanako Murata. I think the weird thing of this fight was that Demopoulos, when I went back and rewatched the fight, she truly did win round 1 in the fact that it was close and Murata lands nothing of true significant impact. But dude, you can't. All 3 judges give. 2 out of 3. All 3 judges give round 2 to Demopoulos, and she gives up 4 minutes of control time in that round. It's just not possible. You didn't knock her down. You didn't cut. No. Thank you.
Yeah.
Murata wins, and so do I.
God damn it. Why do I have to give concessions to Guru? Damn it, it's 2-2 now. This is bad. I'm losing ground. Yeah, fuck. Even Zach agrees. That's where I know I really messed up. All right. Well,
because before to Ryu's point, I was honestly thinking about giving it to Kim, but then when I looked at the stats, I'm like, honestly, it was way closer than I wanted it to be. We had a couple questions in the chat. Are you guys wearing the appropriate pants? I'm not really sure what you mean to that. So
yeah. What is that sure with what are we wearing?
Yeah, great question.
What are you talking about? I'm not sure exactly what
no clue.
This is. We're just wearing what we would normally wear on a podcast. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll keep moving.
So, yeah, we're just gonna keep it rolling. The winner was Kanako Murata.
She deserves it. And didn't they cut her? Did they cut her? Or was that the other one?
Yeah, I mean, I always wear sweatpants and like a UFC t-shirt for the show, so that's what we're doing.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, and I mean, of course I'm wearing pants. Come on.
Of course I'm wearing pants.
Why would I not be wearing? Come on.
What if I had to get up to get a drink? I'm gonna have a Janet Jackson moment on camera here.
Yeah, come on.
Lose all my fans.
What would we be sarcastic about? I just don't get it.
No clue what you're talking about.
All right, so for gym/coach of the year. Wow, this is a good one. So Team Renegade Jiu-Jitsu, they are the camp of Leon Edwards. Got a few homeboys in his camp there. Extreme Couture head coach Eric Nixick. It was a nice picture of him with the shirt that said Extreme Couture. Had to get that in there versus everybody, by the way. So it kind of fit for this. Longo Weidman MMA, Law MMA. Great, really great gym.
They got just high profile guys. I mean, Aljo's out of there.
Right. Marab. They had a couple debuts like Nazim Sadikov and all that. Like a couple of really, really good fighters coming out of that gym. And they're always Matt Frivola's fighting out of that. Like there's so many good guys out of that gym that are making impacts and waves. And Aljo, every time he goes out there, he has a great game plan, except for last time. So then Lobo MMA, like Alexa Grasso's team with Diego Lopez, you see like Lupita Godinez making the move there, making big strides in her overall grappling and jiu-jitsu. And then Tim Welch, right? Yeah, Diego Lopez, man.
I mean that's that to me that's the major I mean, of course, Grasso and Lupi having fantastic years puts them on the radar, but I think somebody like Diego Lopez is something that really puts them over the top in terms of earning the nomination.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Leon always comes in with phenomenal plans and tactics specific to opponents. They definitely do a great job game planning. Nixick, however you spell it, no one matches his resume this year. He's minus 650. Ooh, we'll see where we go here. Coach Francisco Grasso took my coach of the year. That's fair. I understand that. Can't hate it. But my official pick for coach and gym of the year, Eric Nixick, Extreme Couture, not only for the Sean Strickland masterpiece and the live adjustments he's making, yelling out Adesanya's reads in the cage to give Strickland the ability to counter and be ready for all the things that Adesanya would bring to the table. But then also like all the Francis Ngannou stuff and just absolutely knowing when to maneuver. But this is a UFC show, so we are going to focus on the other aspects. But anyone that goes to Extreme Couture, I mean, sure, there's the lower level fighters that are going to lose. You have a large gym. There's going to be some people, that don't quite, pick up the tax. But I mean, anybody that comes in there like a high-level fighter, like a guy like Manel Kopp, who's this amazing star-studded talent that just can't put it together. Next thing you know, he's working with Eric Nixick on a 3 or 4 fight run, and about to make waves and look at a title shot. So you
Yeah.
could just see when you're a high level fighter and you team up with Nixick, it just takes you to that next level. Just ask Sean Strickland. So Guru, do you agree?
You know I do. Eric Nixick far and away stole this. He coached the upset of the year. He's
Yeah,
prepared for all of that. He deserves it in every aspect. He's won it. I mean, I believe we gave it to him last year. Everybody did, I believe, again. I mean, he's just setting the bar. Certain gyms just have that it factor, right? For a while, it was like ATT, and then it was, out in Colorado, and now all of a sudden, not for the last 3 years or so, Eric Nixick's just been building an army and a culture, and it's cultivated to championship level fighters, some of the best you've ever seen. And
yeah,
there's no way not to include the Tyson Fury Ngannou fight into this. You have to. It's impossible not to, because it's about the gym, the pedigree, the work, and what he's
yeah.
able to accomplish was just far and away absolutely incredible. Eric Nixick, Extreme Couture, congratulations. You deserve it all. Jimmy
And the
here, Coach of
winner
the Year.
is Coach of the Year. Brilliant work.
The
So
winner,
there's a
the winner
reason.
is Coach of the Year.
Yeah, that's it, Eric Nixick. There's a reason when people stop at Vegas, it's the PI and Extreme Couture that they stop at. Amen. You have to. Nixick is his coach. Francis trains at the gym. Amen. Even though this is a UFC show that we are giving these awards out for, that doesn't mean we can't show love where it's due. So now we're on to our Chronic Combat Awards Card of the Year nominees. So Guru will give you a little bit more of the specifics in each of these cards, just because I know he's a dirty digger. But when you're looking
A
at
dirty, what did you call me?
a dirty digger of
Jeez.
information, of information.
Yo! Woo! Okay, TV. Whoa!
Remind it. That's well,
Mm.
because me, I get lazy and I just like, oh, this is my nominees. But Guru, he's got like all the specific details that he had to go digging through the internet.
You should make sure that you pull up the list of the card for these 4 fights. It will not take you too very long.
All right.
Like,
Well,
you need to calm yourself. You
UFC
dirty
285, Cyril Gane, John Jones, Valentina Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso. Amazing matchups from top to bottom. We had the Islam Makhachev, who was supposed to be versus Oliveira, ends up being Alexander Volkanovski on short notice. It was supposed to be Paulo Costa and Chimaev, ends up being Kamaru Usman on short notice. So that fight card just an absolute, just had to show you what the original poster was for you to understand how crazy, how quick it came together last second. We had Alexander Volkanovski, Yair Rodriguez, and then Moreno Pantoja. I mean, just a couple absolute barn burners. And then the fight card that we got to go to, UFC 295, Prochazka Pereira and Pavlovich and Aspinall. I mean, those two stare downs alone while they were introducing the fighters were the most electric things to experience. So I'm personally going UFC, Prochazka Pereira and Pavlovich Aspinall 295, right? So what do you got here?
That's interesting. It's not what you wrote in your notes.
I know, because I realized I wrote the wrong one. I meant it to be.
So you went with the one that we went to, MSG
Yes.
295.
Bam, that was it. That's what
I think that's a fantastic choice. And it's specifically hard to sling mud at you when we're 2-2 and you're picking the fight that we went to. Like, that's really, really difficult.
Dirty, disgusting maneuver by myself.
It is. You're tugging at my heartstrings, but I'm not giving it to you. I'm just gonna come at you with straight facts. So what I'm gonna tell you is that UFC 290 is my pick. Alexander Volkanovski defends his belt against Yair Rodriguez, beats the piss out of him, beats him into the ground in round 3. Then you've got with Alexandre Pantoja winning the belt versus Brandon Moreno. Then you've got an unbelievable finish. Dricus du Plessis beating Robert Whittaker as a major underdog. Could have been an upset of the year contender. Then you've got its own fight of the year, honorable mention, Dan Hooker, Jalen Turner. Unbelievable. I believe they're actually nominated. You've got Bo Nickel in there. You've got Robbie Lawler's incredible retirement fight. Denise Gomes knocking her out in 20 seconds. Your boy Bobby Petrino gets his first submission win. You get to watch Terrence Mitchell get pounded into the dirt. You even get to watch Jesus Aguilar knock out Shannon Ross in 17 seconds. That card was incredible. Even the decision of Esteban Ribovics and Kamela Kirk was Kamela Kirk's winning round 1 and the first half of round 2, and Esteban swings it back around and wins. Incredible. So, good card. Really, really good card. International Fight Week. Just fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, I'm saying 295. You have the Benoit Saint-Denis and Frivola knockout. Then you follow that. I mean, how many crazy knockouts? Though you have Prochazka Pereira knockout. You have the Pavlovich Aspinall. I mean, the whole night was just insane knockouts, crazy finishes, absolutely electric card. I got 295. I'm not necessarily backing down on this one. This is a toughie. Are we just gonna have to like call it a stalemate?
I'm just not sure I want to. I mean, 295 was incredible, but like I just didn't feel like all right, so the moments themselves, like even the Aspinall finish was like cool and all, but it just wasn't like the best finish of all finishes. And we knew that fight was going to end quickly, and then everybody complained about the Pahea Jiri stoppage. Even let's be honest, the Jessica Andrade Mackenzie Dern stoppage was terrible. That fight was ridiculous. And then,
I mean, dude, she was gonna knock silly.
Yeah,
Diego Lopez crazy finish.
Yeah, but it's like the beginning of the card itself. I just feel like all right. So let's just be honest, right? Mateusz Rambeski fights Roosevelt Roberts on short notice. That fight was trash, and Roosevelt Roberts came in on a paycheck, and it's hard to give a card of the year to a card that has that on it. That's
come on.
It's a real problem. I think it's really problematic.
A real problem.
And Kung Ho Kang was terrible. That fight stunk.
That's because you bet on him. If you bet the other way, you were happy. Josh Van was a great fight.
That was boring. That Josh Van was a good fight.
What about
fight was boring.
Thanks. We're just in our normal outfits. I appreciate you.
We're always handsome.
Yeah, always looking this good. Thank
you. Trying to be like you, Cody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, no.
Dude, okay, no. And the split decision, we had to sweat Lupi Godinez, who mopped the floor with Tabitha Ricci. Guys, we got to hear about a split decision. I don't want to hear
listen,
that.
I need your guys' help. Please.
No, and wait, and I got a couple more things to tell you. How many short notice fights do I have to highlight? Steven Erceg's supposed to fight Matt Schnell. We get Alessandro Costa. Mateusz Rambeski's supposed to fight somebody else. Gets Roosevelt Roberts. We get a fucking draw in the Slava Nazim fight. Give me a damn winner. Nah, this is not card of the year. It was fantastic. It wasn't even my second choice. You can't be jaded or like slighted just because you went. My second choice was 285, Jones and Gahn. That shit was incredible.
I would be more inclined to give it the 285 than I would 290.
That's insane. Why?
History. You're talking the return of Bones and the Grasso upset. Come on, those moments are unbelievable.
And the Shavkat fight, the Jalen Turner fight was good.
Come on,
Gamrot. No, but I don't know. It was just a little bit more boring with Cody Garbrandt getting a decision versus Trevin Jones. Like that fight can't be on card of the year. It was too terrible. There's certain fights that take away from it. All the replacements on 295 take away its luster, and it hurts me because we went to the card of the year in 268. We've done it before. It hurts me, but I don't know if I can give it to 295. Tell me I'm crazy. Too many pullouts. It's nothing that we can affect. And the card still was incredible. So shout out to the card for doing that. But
see, that's my thing is it's not about what's on paper, but it's how it plays out. And I thought like the fact that they even got replacements for those guys was what made it so clutch.
I mean, of course they're going to get replacements. They have to sell the card at 295 in MSG.
All right. Well, what's the winner then? Who's the winner?
I really didn't sell you at all on 290?
I'll give you 290. It's 3-2 Guru. All right.
Was that really the conviction on it? Because like I don't
That's it.
care about I don't care about the scorecard. I care about getting the awards right.
Yeah, UFC 290. I'll agree with you.
I
Too
mean,
many late notice replacements. I was just I enjoyed going to it.
it was so good,
And the
dude. Oh
top of the
my
card
god,
was better than any other card.
it was so good.
All right, so next up, we got our fight of the year nominees. Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. One, what an absolute battle down under. Crowd was electric. Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Jeff Neal. What a banger until round 3, where Shavkat gets the late finish. Brandon Moreno and Alexandre Pantoja. What an absolute crazy matchup. All the scrambles, all the striking. Dan Hooker, Jalen Turner, back and forth. Each guy has absolutely dominant rounds. Very exciting near finishes. Guram Kutateladze and Elvis Brenner. We talked about this one ad nauseum already. We had to throw it in there for a Fight of the Year nominee. So in this one, I've got Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski one. You combine the crowd here and just Islam Makhachev absolutely cementing his status at 155 against Volkanovski coming up to make his shot. Now, you have to remember how big of an underdog Alexander Volkanovski was. And this guy makes this fight as close as it possibly could be, ending the fight in dominant control position, looking for a finish. I got Volk. Islam won. What an absolute banger of a fight. Had no idea who they were going to give it to at the end. Loved it. Who do you got, Guru? You obviously disagree.
You know who ended the fight in dominant control position recently? Colby Covington. That bull. I don't give a shit about that. Doesn't matter.
The whole fight, it was 3-2 on every scorecard, Guru. It's a close fight, not just a moment. So don't sell it short, you hoe. All right, go ahead.
Fight of the year can't be Islam, the blanket Makhachev. There was too much hugging.
He dropped Volkanovski twice.
Bro, I don't care. That happened early. There's too many rounds in the later rounds that are boring. I can't do it. The fight of the year, without a fucking doubt, is Alexandre Pantoja and Brandon Moreno. And it's, to me, it's almost the caveat of how I get card of the year with UFC 290. The card was fucking incredible. That fight stole the show, back and forth. I mean, I get the split decision and the fact that it's a close fight. I thought it was pretty clear when I watched it who won. Pantoja's losing the first round until he rocks him and he goes down and he's on top and he's scrambling and it's a back and forth slugfest. Every time Pantoja looks gassed, he comes back with more. And it's the pace for 5 rounds, and there's no fucking hugging against the cage from Islam Makhachev. Just cheering, and Volk cheering, woo, after being, hitting him with some of these after being held down for 3 minutes, like what they call that, fucking boa constrictor. Like, bruh, you're not doing well. So, no, sorry.
Well,
if anything, it goes to my boy Elvis Brenner and Guram Kutateladze. That fight was fucking unbelievable. So
yeah,
give it. Yeah, you tell me what you got, you little.
Yeah, dude, I got 2 votes to 1 in the chat on my side. First of all,
no, you don't.
Yes, I do. I have Blood Money Cody picking on Volk Islam 1. That was a fight fan's delight. 4 ounce to freedom says Guru scores another. Blood Money says that was a close second. And then the easy pickings is Volk Islam 1. So I got 2-1, doggy.
No way. I will not concede.
I'm just saying, go get some more votes out there. You gotta.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna have to.
We also went from 23 live viewers to 13 during your diatribe. So ask the fans what they really thought about Pantoja Moreno and if it was better than Volk Islam.
You just pull bullshit stats out. What, like, and try to be fucking retarded? Like, what
exactly.
Are you talking about?
No, but here's my thing. So Volk and Islam won. The anticipation of that fight, the meaning behind that fight, the champ status, the split decision, Volkanovski getting the crowd behind him. He clearly wins 2 rounds.
Did you just say no? You getting the crowd behind him? Are you high, bro? What do you mean he's in Australia? If he can't get the crowd behind him, what's he doing there? What are you talking about?
I'm
That's
saying the whole
insane.
electricity
Thank
of
you.
that
Stop.
matchup.
No,
No.
you don't. No, fuck the electricity. If that fight is happening in the Apex or whatever the fuck, people are booing. That shit was not lit, bro. The fucking Pantoja fight was unbelievable. It's the pace, it's the pressure, the blood. You're not stealing this right now. It's not. You go watch that fight. It's boring. You're adding, and it's not a split decision. Like, that's the worst part of it. It's not a hard fight to judge. Islam wins. Like, I don't like. I'm sorry, it breaks everybody's heart that your plus 300 Volk ticket didn't cash. Guess what? He's getting knocked out in February too. Doesn't matter. Point is that that's not fight of the year. All those other fights are better than that fight. Straight up, it's the worst fight on this list. And you can't tell me other. Yeah, I do. No, it is. It is boring. It's like no. Come on. I'm obviously being hyperbolic. It's up here for fight of the
all
year.
expected Islam to dominate the wrestling and Volk to dominate the
Thank
striking.
you.
Instead, Islam's hurting Volkanovski on the feet.
This is the only take that makes
Volkanovski
sense.
is the only guy to take down Islam.
This is the only fight that, dude. And let me ask you this: if that Islam Makhachev fight fights in the other direction in Abu Dhabi or whatever, it's just another fight. Eric, please help us out here. Fight of the year. You like Volk and Makhachev, or you like Pantoja and Moreno? That fight was unbelievable.
Here's my thing.
No
Volk
way.
Islam meant more for the sport than Pantoja Moreno did. And the whole moment was much bigger. The potential champ status for Volk, everything around the fight is what made it the fight of the year for me. Everything, the whole package.
No, absolutely not. And the only thing I'm going to be willing to do, because I will not concede, is that we're going to put it to a 7-day fucking Twitter poll. Well, I mean, what, a 3-day Twitter? Put it the fuck out there.
All right.
And we're going to tweet it, and we're going to let the people decide, because there's no way. I think I'm going to win 70% of this vote. Like,
that's fair.
There's no way.
Let's put it out for the people. Right now, it's going out there for our fight of the year nominee. We got to see what's happening. Hang tight. It's going up as we're live. TV's making it happen. So
unbelievable. No way. Bro, go, like, all I can ask the viewers and everybody else out there, seriously, go spend an hour and a half and go watch these 5 fights. I swear, and I promise you that one's the most boring of the 5. These other fights are incredible. And let me give you another hint, and this is why it's the winner. The other 3 fights that are nominated are 3-round fights. That fight, the Pantoja Moreno fight, is the 5-round fight with the same pace as the fucking 3-round fights. It was nuts. I'm done.
All right. Well, I'm uploading the poll right now, so people, make sure you get out there.
I'm charged up.
Yeah, this is great. If you came here for TB and the Guru to argue, you got what you're looking for. So it's posted. We're moving on. We've got, next up, yeah, there is no winner for that one. Screw the people. All right. Submission of the year nominees. We talked about the electricity. Davey Grant getting that last second reverse triangle on Rafael Assunção. Damon Blackshear, one of the only twister finishes in the UFC. Short notice, Jose Johnson. Alexander Volkov with the Ezekiel choke, unexpected on Tai Tuivasa. Valentina Shevchenko getting absolutely neck cranked, smothered to a billion by a rear naked, destructive crowbar from Alexa Grasso, and Miktelbek Oralbai bringing a submission from the medieval primordial periods to absolutely rip the face of one Uroš Medichov. So, Guru, I think we'll have an easier time. What's your submission of the year?
God, I'm still recovering from the last argument. Submission of the year. God, what are our nominees are really they were fantastic submissions. They really, really were. I thought that Volkov submission, that was so fucking unexpected. Damon Blackshear submission, like, we all knew Damon Blackshear was going to submit Jose Johnson, but to the twister though, like, come on. That's sick.
That was pretty sick.
And then Davey Grant's submission, he gets his second nomination here. That was incredible. When do you get an inverted triangle? And Shavkat the Beast. I mean, I think you're watching something special. Uh, little tip to y'all. If you guys have a future options, I did place a future on Shavkat to be champ by the end of 2024. So I did place that for 2 units. So we're going full send. But my submission of the year is Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko, and it's almost the same reason why I didn't give her the upset of the year. The way that she snatched it was so fucking incredible, and that's why it's submission of the year, because it was so opportunistic and it was so violent. You don't think Valentina spent her life defending rear naked chokes? Like, are you nuts? Wasn't even under the neck. It was a face crank. She literally was she was going to burst her head like a fucking grape. Submission of the year.
Yeah. So that right there is the reason why you've got the highest level fighter getting submitted that actually has submission defense, first of all. 2, you have a fighter that's not hurt before they get submitted. So generally you get a rear naked choke or whatever because you absolutely obliterated someone first, or you're that much better of a wrestler. In this case, Alexa Grasso practiced this specifically for this moment, pulls it off absolutely perfectly, and you're right, Guru. Valentina had to tap because her face was about to explode like a grape that you squeezed too hard. So the submission of the year, the winner is Alexa Grasso and her feet that she keeps on posting on Twitter. So next up, we've got the knockout of the year.
Which you love. You have that posted all around your room.
The knockout of the year.
Why do you think you have that draped up? Because it's blocking all the pictures of Alexa Grasso's feet.
Exactly. So the knockout of the year in the movement category.
Wait, we should probably we should explain.
So let's be specific. What we mean by the movement category is the coolest maneuver or how the fighter gets dropped specifically. Then we'll have a specific moment category where the knockout came in this gigantic moment altogether. So for our movement category, we have the Carlos Diego Ferreira overhand of death, where Michael Johnson absolutely just goes to Wobbletown. Next up, Ikram Alaskarov sending, Mr. Philip Hawes here. I mean, that's a stanky leg and a half if you take a look. Same thing, Mr. Jim Miller. I mean, to see him absolutely obliterate someone like that, Eric Ghost Pepper Gonzalez is one thing. I mean, this dude Butler, I mean, I don't think he's still in the same universe. Josh Emmett, I mean, we literally saw Bryce Mitchell twitching on the mat. Can we be serious here? And then Roman Kopylov, that head kick knockout on Hibero, I mean, as clean as it gets. The movement for me, it's Josh Emmett, because look at the movement of Bryce Mitchell after the knockout. It doesn't get any crazier than that. Josh Emmett, the knockout king, he deserves a knockout of the year in the movement category.
Without a doubt, one of the most devastating knockouts I've ever seen. And I grew up watching UFC, top knockouts ever. Like, you know what I mean? You just watch knockouts over and over and over. That might be one of the worst knockouts we've ever seen. Absolutely brutal. Got to give the award to Josh Emmett. Lou, who do you like for fight of the year? Do you like Islam Makhachev versus Volk 1?
It's on Twitter, baby. It's on Twitter. Go vote there.
Or do you like Pantoja and Moreno?
Top rope elbow of the year, that would be Manuel Torres for the step-in elbow on Nicholas Mota. Top rope elbow of the year. So yeah, hey, do you agree here, Guru? We agreed.
Absolutely. And the worst part is I've positioned up this next award to be a debate that I was fully prepared to lose, but I didn't know we were going to be competitive. So now I don't know that I want to lose it.
Oh, this guy is about to lose. He went for another deep cut like an idiot. So knockout of the year in the moment category, as Israel Adesanya pulling out the arrows, finishing off Mr. Alex Pereira to reclaim his middleweight title. Sean O'Malley, just an absolute rocking right hand of a counter and some ground and pound to follow. I told Guru it couldn't be a movement, but I'll take a moment there. Tommy Aspinall knocking out Sergey Pavlovich in Madison Square Garden off the couch. That's a moment and a half. Islam Makhachev, head kick knockout in the second matchup. That's quite a moment. Knocking out Alexander Volkanovski. And then, once again, here's Justin Gaethje. Rematch. Dustin Poirier. Head kick. Headshot. Did. But my knockout of the year in the moment category, it's easily Israel Adesanya. I can't tell you one Israel Adesanya loses all these other matchups to Alex Pereira leading up to this. Then he's losing again as the fight's going on, getting backed up to the cage, seemingly hurt. Now we know he was playing possum, but seemingly hurt. Things are closing down. And next thing you know, Israel Adesanya unloads 2 BB guns of a right hand over the top, absolutely knocking Alex Pereira out cold, right on the mat, pulling out one of the coolest celebrations. Obviously choreographed ahead of time for when he won, but just overall, the moment, everything that led up to that, and the absolute electricity as a viewer of that fight and seeing it happen live. The moment, the knockout of the year, Israel Adesanya reclaiming the middleweight title over Alex Pereira. Guru, go ahead.
What a fucking electric moment that was. The cool thing about this is I bet on, I believe, three of five of them. So some of these moments were just even more excellent for me. In terms of just really enjoying that moment. My favorite moment was probably the Sean O'Malley moment. That the way that he step backs and just lands that counter is absolutely incredible. And why it's not the movement is because he doesn't, like you said, KO him to sleep dead. Like, I get it. I mean, he dribbles his head like a damn basketball, and Aljo's absolutely out cold. I don't care if he's flopping around like a fish. But Aljo, that knockout was incredible. But to me, I had to go, and I get that I'm ready to lose this one. I had to go with Justin Gaethje knocking out Dustin Poirier. That was so shocking. It was so crazy. It was so clean. Picture perfect. He blocks it. Look at the picture. It's behind his head, and he's out. And my one argument against the Izzy knockout, which again, the moment is just will live forever. My one argument is that it's so weight cut related. Like, he's dead at 185. He's knocking out a carcass. I promise you, they fight 10 times at 205. Izzy loses 9 of them. Like, I just don't like it at all. But I mean, like, that's my one deep cut. I'm ready to lose it. So not something I can go to the grave standing on, but I felt like that knockout was just incredible.
Guru, I get it. It was incredible. It was a great moment. It just wasn't the best moment of the year. That's the best way I could put it. The BMF title versus
I just feel
all
like
the drama.
you are the biggest Izzy fan of all time. Like, is that any possibility that
No. It's legitimately he didn't win the BMF belt against a Dustin Poirier that, I mean, he would have lost to Michael Chandler. The guy would have lost to Michael Chandler if Michael Chandler had a gas tank.
What you couldn't you say that about Justin Gaethje too? Like, I don't even know what your point is. They both fought Michael T. Like, I don't like what.
Yeah, well, ultimately, here's my thing, man.
You're a JB, and you're not even making a good enough argument.
I gave you my entire argument before. It stands on its own, man. It's easy. It's Israel Adesanya. That's the winner. You took a deep cut and you lost.
Well, I got one person in the chat that's going with me. So
yeah, he's somewhat agreeing with you, but moment has to be Izzy over Alex.
He says 100%.
Thank you. I got one on my side too, so it's 1-1 anyways. So
it's fine. I'm not gonna die on.
You're not gonna die on this one. Anyways, we got the Fighter of the Year nominees now. We've taken you guys a long way on this show to bring you all the way down to what I would say is the most important award here, because without the fighters, the UFC wouldn't be what it is. With all the work Dana White does and everything else, quite frankly, if you don't have these type of people at the top, it's just not the same, because these people live and breathe MMA, and their dedication to the game is what brought them to these levels. And quite frankly, it's just you don't see the same type of level of champion or fighters in some of these other in these other like leagues and stuff. But listen, you place some of the other champions into the UFC, and they could definitely qualify for some of our awards here. It's just this is a UFC specific show. So for our fighters of the year, we have Sean Strickland is going to be one of the nominees. We've got Alexandre Pantoja, Islam Makhachev, Aaron Blanchfield for a non-title holder, and Alexa Grasso as another nominee. Guru, do you have some specifics you'd like to add to these nominees before we list our winner?
Other than your JB?
The people don't even know what that means. Are you talking about Jalen Brunson? OG Anunoby has 5 rebounds already, by the way.
That's sick. We made 20 bucks.
Let's go. Sick.
That was awesome. I wish I put my house on that. That would have been great.
And Jalen Brunson's got 8 assists. I also have a nice
that's
on that.
That's the JB we're talking about.
And I have a double-double too, so let's hope we get it. Anyways.
Good for you, man. The incredible Aaron Blanchfield absolutely surging. Alexa Grasso, one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. And then has an incredibly close fight again. Alexandra Pantoja, a just absolutely phenomenal year, wins the fight of the motherfucking year, and then defends his belt in another really fucking crazy fight. Islam Makhachev, yeah, I honestly, I'm so again unimpressed with Islam Volk too. I hated that matchup. I hated that he did it. He looked out of shape, and it was brutal watching him get knocked out, if I'm being honest. And Sean Strickland was absolutely incredible. Again, puts on pitches a no-hitter versus your arguable middleweight GOAT, other than, you know, Anderson Silva, right? So pitches a shutout against him after being an underdog versus Imavov and Pick'em versus fucking Abus Magomedov, just for your fucking year. That dude's your fighter of the year. He epitomizes what it means to work hard in the gym and believe in yourself and show the fuck up in the front of the bright lights. And that's it. That's what it means to be a fighter. So congratulations, Sean Strickland. You are the Chronic Combat Conversation 2023 Fighter of the Year.
So people, as we give out the most prestigious Chronic Combat Award that you could possibly win, we're going to take also a look ahead to 2024, because while we had so many great fighters, who's our next generation? Who do we need to pay attention to going into 2024? Our fighters to watch. Yeah, definitely, Zach. Thanks for joining us today, man. Appreciate your aspect and your outlook on these fights and fighters. Sean definitely deserves it, man. So now in 2024, I think we got a stable of great fighters. We're not even going to pick a winner here, but just who are some people to keep an eye on that I think might win some awards next year that are far from a household name. First off, Isaac Dolgarian, the Midwest Choppa, 1-0 in the UFC, wins his debut as an underdog. Just an absolute beast of a wrestler, has shown to have great leg kicks and striking on the feet. Excited to see what he brings to the table going forward. Eduarda Mora, absolute gigantic size for her division. Under the tutelage of some amazing grapplers. I think a Damian Maia disciple, if I'm not wrong, or something like that. But she's just going to be an absolute beast and someone to have to deal with going forward. Nursultan Ruzipoyev, coming out, actually fighting out of Philly, funny enough. But absolute killer of a grappler, gigantic knockout power, tons of potential and experience, and only had one fight in 2023. So not a lot of people might know him. Guru, we got 2 left. You want to give Asu and Aza their full thing? Or you want me to finish off here?
You got it, bud. You left me the crazy names. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Asu Amabayev comes in, makes a great second round submission in his debut. Yeah, this guy, he's going to be a great fighter going forward. What is that in? He's fighting out of California. Great wrestling team with Uriah Faber and all. Then Azat Maxim. He's actually going to take a short notice opponent in Charles Johnson coming up. Let's see how that works out for him. He's coming out for vengeance for Zalga Zumagulov. He's trying to get some cool hair too. Really appreciate that. And he's a fighter to watch in 2024. Some guys that might make the rankings and make a move coming up next year. And finally, we have some honorable mentions. Guru, I'll leave this to you and we will take it away from here.
Unbelievable year in review. Was just so thankful to be doing the show. And one of the things that we got to do when we did the show on Friday was we really just got to look at the entire year as a whole, as a collective. And it just makes me so excited to be able to do it again next year. But some of the amazing fights and finishes and KOs, specifically really KOs. I mean, I really got to start off with the Brundage Reese and Close Selecki back-to-back slam KOs. I mean, how much of a treat was that? Like,
crazy,
absolutely fucking insane. You had, what is it, like 12 slam KOs in UFC history to that point, and then you get 2 back-to-back on the same card. It's just insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, the Reese one definitely hurt in terms of money because of parlays, but
that was crazy.
Yeah, it was very unexpected. But Reese was he's not very, I don't know. He's just not very consistent. He's young. So you look at I'll give a couple more. I thought the Dricus Duplessis Robert Whittaker fight was absolutely bonkers. I mean, he just outpaced Whittaker and he was not prepared for that. And then the damage came on and it's really problematic. I cannot wait for that pay-per-view. I'm honestly so concerned with Sean Strickland's mental state to like a point. Like if he gets emotional, he might get clipped. He's been clipped before. So TB's undressing on camera as he usually does because there's nothing different about his appearance today. And then the last one I guess we got to talk about quickly, I guess, would be
Emmanuel.
Who?
Emmanuel quickly. All right, sorry.
You're literally a JB.
Just finish this shit. Come on.
I don't care. Pick one.
All right, fuck that. Honorable mention, everybody that made the UFC such a great year and all of our fans. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. You can hear the rest of our thoughts going through the rest of this year. We're going to have an amazing 2024, changing up the game, going to have some fun. And I hope you guys join us because honestly, we have a great time. We love arguing with each other. I probably should have conceded to Guru earlier, but it was just too much fun to argue. So we're going to let the Twitter poll run, but that was pretty fun. Yeah, so here we go. Guru, what do you got to say to the people before we head into our first fight breakdown next week?
I'm really hoping for a new co-host in 2024. That's the thing I could pray for the most. God, you're the worst. No, seriously, unbelievable time. I'm ready to stop talking about 2023 and to get into the money in 2024. Would really love to secure a profit for Chronic Combat Bet MMA. I think that's a really nice goal for 2024. Like a nice 20-25 unit. I think that's like just even profit in general because we haven't profited yet. That would be really nice. And then obviously profiting personally would be fantastic. So I think these are accomplishable goals. So let's go out and get it. We got next week. We've got an unbelievable guest. I'm gonna hold it off, and we're gonna be back with Johnny Walker and Magomed Ankalaev too. I know we all can't wait for that minus 500 slop fest. Take care.